Hello, good evening, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be having this. Um, I think that today's today's topic, a lot of people will find relevant, and that's the goal. Um, Good evening. Hello. Hi, Rita. Thank you for being here. I hope everybody's had a great day. Nadine, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I promise to make it I promise to make it worth your while. Thank you so much for being here. Um, I'm trying to see. Hi, Joelle. Thanks for coming. So, for anybody who does not know who I am, my name is Sally Traore Ualaka. I am the founder of Resi Prep. I work with pharmacy residency and fellowship candidates and helping them match by design. And so this is a really unique approach to this process, whereby we are not just focused on one singular area in preparing you for success. We are looking to see how we can make you a well-rounded candidate and how we can keep you going. And already, oh, Nadine, I promise you it's worth it. It's worth it to hang in there. It's worth it to hang in there. I really wanted to come on today to talk about this because these 5 questions have kind of surfaced quite a bit in the question answer or ask me anything. Everybody's kind of been wanting to just put them in my DMs and message me privately. I love it, but I've been trying to answer them, all of the questions. I will absolutely answer every single question publicly because I'm positive what one of you have as a question, someone else absolutely has a similar question, or your question is a gateway to another, to something else that this could trigger for the other one. And so I try to put the information out there. Ways that you'll be able to access that information: TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, all under ResiPrep 360. You should be able to find me here on LinkedIn, also ResiPrep 360. And of course, under my personal page as Sally Traore Ualaka. All that boring stuff is now out of the way. And so it's a very interesting time of the year. It's already August 4th. I was going to say August 3rd, but obviously it's not August 3rd, but it's already August 4th, which kind of is a little mind blowing for me because I feel like we were just like in June where I was preparing to kick things off, but we are here. Things have started. You should be making some moves already. I'm seeing messages and information about mid-year registration and securing your hotel for mid-year. Like, guys, the Hunger Game has officially begun. Like, it's here. So I wanted to start getting some targeted information out there. If you are a P2 or P3, for those of you that are in 3-year programs, if you are a first or second year student, this information would still be relevant to you as you kind of start sorting through information and making decisions and figuring out if postgraduate training is in your path, or if this is something that you want to continue to follow my content and kind of get on this discovery journey with the final years this year, so that you can do a lot of these self-reflections already in preparation for next year. When we connect, you already have all these things lined up, and that just will be ready to hit the ground running. I believe that there are plenty, I'm not exaggerating. There are quite a bit of questions, particularly self-reflection questions, that you want to get some really good you want to be super clear about, to figure out not only if postgraduate training is for you, but deciding if you want to do a fellowship or if you want to do a residency. This decision-making process for some people, it's super easy. Like for me, I always knew that I wanted to be in the trenches. I wanted to have an opportunity to work directly with my patients. I didn't necessarily want a situation where I would be fighting for my patients in a different front. I wanted to work with my patient and help them meet their health goals. So I knew that a residency that would prepare me to be a clinical pharmacist is the thing that spoke to me. Like every time I would do an assessment of what I want to do, what area I want to practice in, my areas of interest, those were always fluctuating. Oh no, I think it's critical care. Oh no, maybe it's emergency medicine. You know what? I really love HIV. I think it's going to be infectious disease because I wanted to join the fight against that, especially as a person with sub-Saharan heritage and what HIV AIDS has done in the continent of Africa. I wanted to join the fight in doing something to make the quality of life for these people better. So while all of my interests kept fluctuating, the reason why I wanted to invest in myself never did. So I believe that the first question you want to be clear about is what your career goals are. And this really brings me to an interesting point because when I work with my clients, I always ask them, okay, what is your goal? And I listen to the answer and then I'm like, okay, what are your expectations? And many people get stuck. They don't fully realize that there's a difference. There's a clear distinction between what your goals are and what your expectations are, right? So case in point, pharmacy school final year my goal was to secure a PGY1 residency and have and train in a place that would really invest in my growth and development and building my clinical skills. I wanted to be a well-rounded pharmacist and be an asset to whatever team I was on. That was my goal. The expectation now in accomplishing that goal for me was that I would show up for my patients in a capacity that would be super meaningful in their lives. I didn't just want to be another healthcare professional that they encountered and then they go this way, I go that way. I wanted my training to be placed in the shadow of who I was as a person and how I wanted to interact with patients. So my expectation was that with this training, I would use my people skills and the love I have for people and teaching to help elevate health, expectation, move away from healthcare being a privilege to an actual expectation in my community, focusing particularly in grossly medically underserved area and underrepresented people. So I kind of hope like my example kind of help you clarify or see a little bit better that there is a difference between your goal. Your goal is what you are working towards. It's something that isn't guaranteed to you, but you're aware that given the opportunity, this is how I would work towards it, towards accomplishing this thing. I want this thing and I want to accomplish it. Now, what do you expect accomplishing the goal to do for you? So being able to clearly line that out really gets you started for interview prep. It also gets you started for your letter of intent and how you position yourself and the tone with which you communicate through that letter. I hope you guys continue to be interactive and drop things in the chat box for me. Feel free to just ask me to clarify something or give another example. I'd love that. The second question I kind of think I want to spend time on and helping you figure out is how will a residency help you accomplish your career goals, right? So how will doing a residency help you accomplish number one? When we figured out what your goal is, how does completing a residency help you accomplish that goal? my desire to be well-rounded, my desire to be a trusted team member, and my desire to have superior clinical knowledge, residency is the logical step in me working towards accomplishing that goal. And so your answer to how residency helps you accomplish your goal, there has to be some level of linear thinking that goes into that, because it should just be that here's how a residency is going to help me accomplish this. It'll teach me multitasking skills. It'll teach me working under stress. It will push me in elevating my critical thinking skills, my problem solving skills, and my patient assessment skills. Being able to list that out super easy tells me that you have clarity of purpose. Like, you are really, really clear about why you're doing this. And it's clear, like, we're not going to be here spending a whole bunch of time helping you understand, like, what is the goal and how does residency help you fix that? That's the second thing I think you want to take note of. The third thing is, what sacrifices are you willing to make? It never ceases to amaze me that people who are pursuing residency think that the sacrifices really begin when they match or after they get into residency program. You're going to be choosing rotations. You're going to be choosing and making a decision how many industry rotations you want to complete compared to how many community, compared to how many hospitals, nuclear medicine, home infusion. There is an opportunity cost to every decision you're going to make. You are giving up something in order to gain something, because each of these areas have great things that they could contribute to your growth and your knowledge and development. The sacrifices begin right from there, right? And then when you start rotation, the decision to elevate your performance and kind of, even though you're a final year student, setting an expectation for yourself that I'm going to invest in my learning to a degree. If we had a topic discussion on rotation today that wasn't clear to me, I'm going to do a little bit of reading on my own to try to understand a little bit more about this topic. And when I come in tomorrow, I think I want to curbside my preceptor for just like 5 or 10 minutes to see if I can explain this again to them. And that tells me that I've really understood this topic, this concept, this whole process. And so the idea that the sacrifices begin either after match or before you apply, I want to caution you against that, because you could be surprised that you have to give up certain things. Some people view happy years as the rekindling of their social lives. You could have a balance, but it's also a year where you are going to work extremely hard so that you're getting these letters of recommendation that can speak more to just who you are from your academic performance, but they've been able to observe your drive, your dedication, and your commitment to excelling, and your commitment to maximizing every single learning experience, right? That's going to take sacrifice. That means coming in early sometimes and staying late. But the sacrifices begin like now. The other thing I always ask people, moving. Relocation is a major sacrifice, and it's a major limitation for a lot of people applying for residency. I put moving or relocation on your radar because perhaps you're geographically limited, but if you decided to commute for even an extra half hour, the pool of potential programs that you could apply to could grow exponentially. Like, it could go from, there are only 4 programs in my geographical area I want to stay in. But if I decided that I can drive for an extra half hour, it opens me up to about 8 or 10. And so commuting and relocating, these are all things that are sacrifices that you're going to have to make. And the elephant in the room, the reduced compensation, you're going to be paid at a significantly lower rate than some of your counterparts that have gone right into employment. But it's why I don't call residency just training. I truly, truly believe like it is an investment. It is an investment. And so if you view it as an investment, people who invest will tell you there is a return on their investment that they are waiting for. That for you is just 12 months away. So this isn't even like one of those investments where you have to wait decades to be able to get that return on the investment. No, it's 12 months later, you start to get all of the return on the investment and your decision to take this step voluntarily and invest in yourself. So I always call it an investment. I don't just refer to it as training. I think I've touched on question number one. It's not an open-ended question. It's a flat out yes or no. Are you willing to relocate? There can be no explanation there. It's no and it's yes. Another way I pose this is, are you limited geographically? It's a yes or it's a no. This helps us kind of start figuring out, are we open to everywhere? Then maybe I'm just curious to know, where do you find yourself thriving? Some people are just like, I don't care where it is. If it's near the beach, I'll deal. Some people, they want a city. They want to be in a city where there are a lot of young professionals. That little social aspect of where they live matters to them. Other people want to be in remote, like they're from a small town, another small town country where they can, a small town, country town where they can move to, where the pace is super slow. The speed limit is like whatever. For some people, that's what they need. But I think that it's very important that you're clear about that. It's not just geographically limited, yes or no, but if you're geographically unlimited, what are some things then that you think would make a difference? I can tell you, like, I was in Philly, and a lot of people are attracted to Philly because it's a city. There's so many things to do. Restaurant week is fun. Sip Wednesday. There are all these social things that exist in Philly, right? I can't tell you anything about them. I went to SIPs with my co-residents a couple of times, but no. I just always felt like I was behind. And so I went home and I kept working and I kept trying to find ways to get caught up. So I didn't really explore Philly the way I thought I would. So keep that in mind, that you could be super busy, that you don't get to explore. And so don't attach these do or die titles. But that was number 4. Are you willing to relocate? Number 5 takes us back to our goal. What type of residency is the best fit for me? The only way you start having answers to this question, or what type of fellowship is best for me? Again, what do you want to do? Right? If you're interested in pharmacovigilance, if you're interested in medical affairs, global health economics and research and outcomes research, like there are so many different titles that you can apply for fellowship. They have mixed fellowships. They have fellowships where drug companies are partnering with schools or colleges of pharmacy, and you're able to do 6 months working on your drug information and developing your literature review skills. And then the second half there's some teaching in the middle of that. And then the rest of your rotation is at the drug company developing pharmaceutical industry skills. The key here is be clear about what you want, because until you're clear about what you want, you're going to find yourself in the interview and you have all these different questions for them. Do you offer a teaching certificate? They're going to say no. You're like, okay, but I really want to be able to teach. When this is all said and done, I want to at least be able to do a couple lectures or a couple guest lectures. And I want I want to be able to say that I went through a formal training and have a teaching certificate to do that. You're like, okay, so that's not it. If I wanted to take a master's degree course at the school, because I'm going to be here for 2 years, like if you commit to a PGY1, PGY2, does the residency program offer a master's degree program along with their combination PGY1? No. And so I tell people, create a spreadsheet, because you're gonna be ticking these boxes off. I'm interested in exposure to investigational drug services. Is that something that's in development here or even available if I wanted to have an elective rotation in that? No, not really. We're considering it, but we're not quite there yet. Okay. Is there an outpatient oncology ambulatory care clinic? Is there a specialty pharmacy outpatient clinic? So these are things that you can find on their website and literally tick off, and you'll realize like, besides the fact that this is near a beach town, they actually don't have anything I'm looking for me to be a well-rounded pharmacist who's got a strong interest in ambulatory care. There's no heart failure clinic. There's no anti-coag clinic. There's no specialty pharmacy. This is going to be a traditional pharmacy practice residency where I'll have critical care, infectious disease, drug information, internal medicine, and then maybe some specialties like medication safety, informatics, or other things. But here, I'm not going to be able to get much exposure to ambulatory care practice. That can tell you, while you're looking at that program's website, I don't know if this program is going to be a fit for me. You like the town, but it doesn't line up with question number one, which was, what are your goals? And so I just believe that a lot of the success I have in helping students prepare to enter the Hunger Games, it's that we are super intentional about every move we make. I say we because I'm in this Hunger Game with them, right? We are very intentional. We leave nothing to chance. We don't gamble on any opportunity. We definitely don't squander opportunities. We go after it and maximize every single bone, like every single opportunity that comes your way. I need you to really, really realize, like, especially if you're able to recognize that this is unique, I need you to grab a hold of that and not just do it, but do it so well that the person who's precepting you, if you ask for a letter, they're like, yes, absolutely. Because I've seen your work beyond just coming in here 8 to 4:30 and beyond just being here 7 to 3:30. I've seen you take initiative. I've seen you push yourself, make sacrifices. I've seen you take ownership. I've seen how you interact with patients and how your bedside manners. You treat the patients with such respect. The patients love you. Like, I have some students in my clinic, the patients will call them back and the patients don't want to talk to me. They don't want to have anything to do with me. They want to talk to the student, right? And they're like, no, such and such was helping me and we were doing great. And I just want to speak to them. So I always tease the student. I'm like, oh, you have a fan. There's a fan on the phone for you. But it's a great sign when you make and build those relationships with your patients. It means like you understand what healthcare is about. The skills are wonderful, but if you're not kind and you're not respectful and you cannot meet people where they are and be of service and be non-judgmental, you're going to have an incredibly difficult time in this profession and trying to do anything meaningful or even being respected for that matter, because kindness matters. I don't care. Forget what you've heard. Kindness 100% matters. So I want to just thank you, all of you, for joining me. Those of you watching this on replay, you guys know my DM is wide open. Feel free to slide in there, say hi, say hello. I'm still taking discovery calls. I'm still new practitioners that are on the fence please reach out to me. I can go over your options with you. Um, and if you're final year and you're on the fence, schedule a discovery call with me, because this is what I do. I bring forward questions you should be thinking about. I don't make choices for anyone, but I bring things to your attention that can help guide you and help you kind of make certain decisions more clearly and objectively. Because if you're asked a question, you're forced to answer that question honestly, and it could reveal certain things about yourself and where you need to head that you wouldn't otherwise know just about like agonizing over it on your own. As always, I am super grateful for your listening ear. And more importantly, I am grateful for trusting me to be a part of your journey. I want to be in the audience one day and saying, hey, I know him, or hey, I know her. And so thank you for the privilege of being a part of your success journey and your success story. And I am always here and available, rooting for you, helping you win no matter what. Thank you so much for coming. Until next week. Bye.